Do you know how many people admit to drinking Bloody Caesars?
No, I don't. How many people admit to drinking that?
I'm told that something like 300 million are sold every year or something like that.
That's a lot of Bloody Caesars.
Yep, Canadians down 300 million Caesars each year, at least according to Canada Dry Mott's, the purveyors of Clamato juice. Clamato even launched a campaign to make it Canada's national cocktail, a campaign that made it all the way to Parliament Hill.
There are now some 1 million Caesars poured daily in Canada. Wow. The Caesar, Canada's national cocktail. Thank you, Madame.
Yeah, that's Liberal MP Dominic LeBlanc, no relation, standing up in the House of Commons on December 9th, 2010. Now, Dominic's declaration doesn't make the Caesar a truly official symbol of Canada, but most of us are proud to say it's a distinctly Canadian drink, and one invented here too. Credit's long gone to Walter Schell. He was a hotel bartender in Calgary in 1969 when he came up with a totally original idea to combine spices, tomato juice, and clam juice into a bloody good Caesar.
Well, yes and no.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Hi.
Brian Colton, as you know, is the regular here at Sociable. Brian, what do you mean, yes and no?
I mean the Caesar wasn't invented in Canada.
Why are you trying to destroy a great Canadian legend?
I'm not, hear me out. I love the Caesar. It's the first cocktail I learned to make, thanks, Dad. But there's actually more to it than Walter Schell. Let me take you to Joni Schell's apartment.
There's a lot of memories here.
And who's Joni Schell?
That's Walter's daughter. I popped by her place to find out more about her dad.
Yeah, it's him in his little Calgary Stampede outfit.
Walter was always cooking and didn't like to waste anything, even a runny pasta sauce.
The vongole sauce with clams. It was too watery for him. So I thought, well, why waste it? I'm going to see what I can do back at the hotel. So he was tinkering around with it. That concoction ended up being Clamato juice.
So he's playing with this Clamato juice stuff. At the same time, the hotel he works at is getting ready to open a fancy new Italian restaurant. It's a pretty big deal, and they ask Walter to make a flashy signature cocktail to match.
He had a buddy of his from England that was hanging out at the hotel, and he was like, you know, why don't you give this a try? What do you think of it? I'm thinking, I'm calling it the Caesar. And his buddy, being an English guy, was like, oh, that's bloody good. So my dad thought, well, okay, he'll add the bloody to the Caesar. So he came up with the Caesar.
Yeah, that's the story a lot of us know. That's the Caesar. So why are you trying to ruin that story, Brian?
I'm not trying. Blame this stinker.
There's plenty of evidence that key combination of vodka, tomato juice, clam juice, and spice existed long before Walter Schell introduced them to Calgary in 1969.
That's Adam McDowell.
I'm Adam McDowell. I'm a freelance journalist who specializes in drinks, and I have a column in the National Post called Happy Hour.
Adam is a total booze geek.
This here is all the liqueurs and other sort of flavoring
His
stuff.
apartment is full of liquor, drink tools, cocktail books, basically what you'd expect, including one cocktail book from 1936.
This is a replica edition. It's called The Artistry of Mixing Drinks.
One day he was just hanging out reading it, and he came upon something fishy, something called the clam cocktail.
It was so similar to a Caesar that just my eyes popped out of my head. I wasn't expecting to see a drink that was supposedly invented in Canada in 1969 show up in a book that was written in France in 1936. Here's our clam juice cocktail. A teaspoon of tomato ketchup, a small pinch of celery salt, 2 or 3 drops of Tabasco sauce, 1/2 glass of clam juice.
So the Caesar is actually French and from the 30s?
Well, no, actually, what happened?
Not French, not 30s. It's even older. Adam asked his friend, who's this cocktail guru in New York, to look up other drinks like the Caesar. Get this, he found 5.
5?
5. The oldest one was from 1898.
This was from an unnamed chop house in New York, and the bartender's name was Andy, and the last name wasn't given.
This one's called the Dewy Clam Juice Cocktail. Here's what's in it.
1 dozen large clams, horseradish, teaspoon of spicy sauce, 6 drops of Tabasco, pinch of celery salt, 3 teaspoons of tomato ketchup, white pepper, juice of a quarter lemon, tarragon vinegar, cider vinegar, and then finally, I guess you come back to the clams and you just strain off the juice and add that in.
That sounds a lot like a Caesar, a proto-Caesar even. I was shocked. So were Adam's readers.
I don't think I ever had people quite as angry at me for anything. There was even a blogger who wrote that I'm a stinker because I should have just kept this story under my hat. Truth, schmooth, I should just never have told the world that the Caesar was not really a Canadian invention.
Adam, you're a stinker.
Well, I'm paraphrasing. I don't exactly remember.
I was kind of nervous to break the news to Joni, Walter's daughter, but she actually took it okay.
Well, if somebody didn't put a patent on it, I guess, Well, either did my dad, so,
But neither did the guy in New York or the one in Paris.
Well, that's just it, Dom. I mean, the Caesar originated elsewhere, yes, but Walter named it, and we adopted it. So who gets to own it?
I think the person that went through with it. If you take it and bring it to the next level and bring it to the public.
And you know what? That stinker Adam, he's on Joni's side.
Her dad gave it a platform. I mean, Calgary is still the home of the Caesar and always will be. Pizza belongs to the Americans in a certain way because they took it from the Italians and made it their own. We've made this our own. This really is Canada's drink, which says something about our palate. It's a weird drink.
Does that mean we're weird?
No, it's like the one weird thing about us. It's like this and the fighting and hockey. Like, they're idiosyncrasies, and I think we cling to them because, the idea is that Canadians are dull and unimaginative, and then we do this weird stuff every once in a while. And Caesar's a very weird thing to do.
So you see, Dom, the Caesar is ours, even if it came from somewhere else. It's the immigrant cocktail that found a home and a community here. And what can be more Canadian than that?